On the outside, Liam Scheurkogel is just like every other kid. He goes dirt biking any chance he gets, and also likes snowmobiling and playing football with his family whenever he can. But on the inside, Liam needs to make sure he is getting tested for something that can potentially cause serious problems if he's not careful. Liam was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when he was 8 years old, and his mother Teresa now has to make sure that her son is checking his level 4 times per day to ensure they are where they need to be. She says this threw a big curveball into their lives.
I was just in shock, really, because I didn't know anything about type 1. Everybody hears about type 2, and I didn't really know anything about type 1, so it was all brand new.
Wall also says that the most frustrating part of Liam having diabetes is that there is misinformation on what type 1 is compared to type 2. The biggest difference between the two types is that type 2 can be controlled with diet alone, while type 1 is beyond the person's control. The other major factor is that if a person has type 2 diabetes, their body will still use the natural insulin, but it is delayed, while a person with type 1 cannot create any insulin on their own. Wall says that interacting with people about her son's diabetes can be difficult because of how people generalize the two types.
Whenever somebody says, oh, he's got diabetes, and I kind of cringe a little bit because type 2 is so much different than type 1.
But for Liam, it's just more of a slight inconvenience than anything else. And it's a lot less of an inconvenience now that he has a new device to work with.
So it's this thing on my arm, and then this thing here. It says scan sensor to check your blood sugar, and then I scan it, and then it shows me my blood sugar.
And Liam is proof that the only difference between a regular kid and a kid with type 1 diabetes is that he gets tested every day. Other than that, Liam is just like any other kid who likes to be active.
Whether it's riding his dirt bike along the track, snowmobiling with his family, or tossing a football around, Liam continues to be very active despite his diabetes, and I don't think that's going to end anytime soon. For E! News, I'm David Sellis.